Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel, Capri Social Network. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about when online dating goes left. And I also want to elaborate more by showing clips, online clips, all on behalf and courtesy of TikTok on how online dating instances of how it could go left. Specifically, and in regards to people, being catfish. Now, for some of you who may not be familiar with the term catfish, and I want to share my screen while reading you the slang term of it, because I'm sure a lot of you already are familiar with the food catfish. However, in the terms of internet lingo, I want to read the full definition and elaborate more on what's meant by catfishing and how it correlates with online dating nowadays. Although, don't get me wrong, you do have uh, apps by the name of FaceTime now on behalf of all my people who use iPhones, and on behalf of my people that use Android phones. No discrimination towards all the Android owners or users, because I'm an Android user. You have also Google Duo, where, excuse me, because I had burped just then. Right before you may meet a person who you may happen to match with, even when you meet people on platforms by the likes of Instagram, right before you may happen to take that person out on a date, on a physical date, after matching up with them online and vice versa, you get the awesome privilege to use to do a video chat with that person. Now, don't get me wrong, people could still get catfish, specifically guys, on behalf of how nowadays women use certain kinds of products nowadays, whereas a woman may be in her 50s or early 50s. And with that being said, there happens to be a TikTok clip on behalf of a lady, I'm not making this up, who happened to be a wife, who happens to be both a wife and a mother. And in this short clip, she sprayed some kind of chemical on her face, and this lady appears to be in every bit of her 50s. Now, listen closer. When this lady happened to spray this chemical on her face, she said all you had to do was wait 10 seconds. Because she said she ordered it from Germany, somewhere in Germany. I kid you not. Right after she waited 10 seconds after spraying this product on her face, she looked like she was every bit of in her early to mid 30. No lie. And this is another prime example of how people are becoming more or getting catfish as well, due to how women are using products now, literally using products that women that may be as old as 60 years old at that are using spray products, the spray on their faces to make themselves appear so much younger and more beautiful as well, as opposed to when they were in their much more younger days. I'm telling you, it's scary out there in the dating age nowadays. Anyways, I want to read you the term catfish. After that, I want to show you some clips, all on behalf of TikTok, on behalf of when online dating goes left, due to how people are still getting catfish, believe it or not, in the year 2024. Although, like I was just stated, we do have apps by the name of FaceTime and Google Duo. People are still, believe it or not, getting catfish. So let me share my screen. Now, for some of you, once again, who may not be familiar with the internet terminology of catfish, it means assuming a false or stolen identity online. Let me read you the full definition. Catfish is a slang term that means assuming a false or stolen identity online, especially to deceive or manipulate someone into a relationship. Simply to what I just stated earlier, how people prior to hooking up on dates and getting to know each other by the likes of using apps such as Instagram, FaceTime, Google Do, whatever other apps they could use prior to taking a person out on a date and getting to see how that person actually may look. While doing so, there are still instances of people actually getting catfish and as a result disappointed when coming time to meet those persons in person on dates. So if you bear with me, I'm going to show you some clips to elaborate more on this topic.
Hey, excuse me, ma'am. What is Jesus? Ma'am, can you look at me? No, man, don't look at me. Don't look at
me. Wait. Wait.
Oh, shit.
I can't lie. Although it was fun at the same time, it wasn't not fun because of how he went about telling her to look at him. How he did tell her to look at him. He couldn't help but to be weak about it. Couldn't help but to continue to laugh about it. And this is just one instance of how people still are getting catfish in the year 2024. Don't go nowhere because I still got some more clips for you pertaining to this topic.
He smiled back at me, and then he was like, I don't look like my pictures. I do look like my pictures. I don't Photoshop anything. I tell everything how it is. I'm going to insert at the end of the video the picture I put in. And he was like, just being so quiet through the meal and all that. He didn't even want to pay. I said, hey, I didn't bring my money with me. And then he eventually paid. And then now he sent me a request to pay for the food. And that's not, I just don't understand. Why are men like this? Men are evil.
Now, with that being said, she had the nerve to say how evil men are. But how about a lot of you women, how deceitful you are when it comes to meeting guys online and by using filters such as the one on the very left, when in some instances you look nothing like the pictures that you have on your dating profiles. So when it all comes down to it, once again, a lot of you are the main ones that are most conniving, more evil due to your insecurities. And this right here, this clip right here, when that being said, this lady happened to match up with a guy who she met on the Black app, BLK. A lot of you may be more familiar with it being and going by that symbol or that term BLK instead of black. This here clip is a perfect case in point of how several guys are still being deceived when matching up with women that they may happen to perfectly connect with online, only to meet up with them online. Well, meet up with those same females in person and be highly disappointed, especially after how she just described how the date ended when she got a chance to meet up with the guy as well. When that being said, she has no one to blame but herself. And I'm assuming this picture on the left, profile picture of her on the left, was a much younger picture from maybe 5 or so years ago. So I blame her every bit for being in the wrong by posting this picture on the left and misleading the guy who she happened to go out and match with, where first match went online, only to be able to have the opportunity to go out with him in person and him to be extremely disappointed. Anyways, which is another example of how online dating when online dating goes left. So it's some more clips that I got coming. Don't go nowhere, folks.
Smile back at me.
Well, that one I just played. Let me look for another one.
What the f are you doing? What the f are you doing? What the f are you doing?
No more dating apps. I swear I'm not. What you mean why I'm doing this? What you mean why? You're not the person.
Now, this right here, I believe, has to be a skit because this guy is a very well-known TikToker who has over 2 million followers. Yet and still, it applies to what us gentlemen have to go through in real life situations whenever we may hook up when females, due to how a lot of them appear online prior to hooking up with them in person, how so many of them like to deceive men by using extra, if not extra makeup on their faces, and in most cases, weave or wigs. They like to go as far as using extra filters as well to appear way more appealing than they actually are usually, as opposed to with the guy was to finally get the opportunity, or if the guy finally got the opportunity to meet them in person. This right here is coming from a comedic standpoint. At the same time, it's coming from a comedic, well, a serious standpoint, and real life standpoint as well. So keep on watching.
Person that you said you was. Like, you really catfish me. No, you're not. You catfish me, dude. Seriously, you got a whole different profile pic. You came to my crib looking like this.
I'm still the same person you fell in love with on the phone. So don't do that.
I'm not listening here, man. That's what I'm saying. I knew it was.
And if you look real closely, this here female happens to have a lot of facial hair on her chin. And I can see why this guy happened to be disappointed with her. And if you notice how what makes the video even more humorous is how he kept on referring to her as man instead of miss or whatnot. Anyways,
I knew it was the reason why you didn't want to FaceTime me, man. That is crazy, man. I can't believe you really catfish me, man.
Embarrass me like that, though?
I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm just saying, like, you could have just showed your true self,
You
man.
trying to embarrass me like that, though?
I'm not trying to embarrass you, dude. You could have showed your true self. Like, you really played me. I don't want you, dude. I'm serious. I don't want you, dude. You really lied. You could have just showed yourself. What you mean, don't be like that?
I still look the same.
No, you do not look the same, dude.
I still look the same.
You don't.
Bit off.
You don't. You really catfish me, man.
Don't do that, because I didn't catfish.
You did.
I did.
You did. That's crazy as hell, man. I can't believe that, dude.
now I ain't gonna lie, them titties nice. Them titties real nice. And the perfect size for somebody like me, by me being a titty freak. That I mean, I know I'm a married man and all, but I just gotta call a spade a spade. I don't love me some big titties. And this is just me incorporating some humor of my own. Anyways, and let me stop.
Alright, y'all, so I'm finna come out with a little story time real quick. And I'm gonna tell y'all about the time that I got catfished by a paraplegic. So yeah, you know, it was about last year, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say no names or nothing, you know, 'cause I ain't that type of nigga, but long story short, you know, I met a little shorty on Instagram. You know, be careful who you meet online, because stuff like this can happen. But long story short, I pick her up, you know what I'm saying? By the way, she cool. It ain't no, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing against paraplegics on my mom, but it's like, I just feel like that's something you should say, or like maybe advertise all your social. I mean, you don't have to, but it's just like, you know. But so like anyway, I picked shorty up, you know what I'm saying, from her crib, whatever, cool. Slide back to my crib, smoking, vibing, you know, it's all good. Now the apartments I used to live in got stairs, all right. So we get to my apartment, you know what I'm saying. We get out the car, it's time to walk up. Boom, hit the staircase. Mind you, it wasn't really that bright in my parking lot, so I couldn't really like see like the leg situation, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, so boom, we get in the gates. We on my apartment at the bottom of the steps. So now it's like, you know, a light shining on the steps because they want people to be able to see, you know, going up the steps. So we hit the thing, and shorty take a minute, and she put her hand on the railing and boom, put her leg up. Mind you, I didn't tell you, but we had my little cousin. He was staying with me at the time, so you know, he's in the back chilling, whatever. So yeah, he kind of walking up behind us and stuff. So shorty, she in the front. She put her leg up on the step, and there it is. You know, that's when you know, it's apparent that one of the legs is not real. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I look back at my cousin, and we gave each other that look. You know what I'm saying? Well, long story short, I did hit. I'm not gonna sit here, like, I know that's the part that everybody probably wondering about. And to be real with you, one cheek wasn't smaller than the other. I don't know how she did it, but both cheeks was, you know, was there. It had a nice little bubble, but yeah, that's basically the story about the time that had happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Shorty's still cool though. You know, if you see this video, you cool. It ain't no hate on my mommy. It's just a story I'm always remembering. You feel me? And I wanted it to share with y'all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a good one and be safe out there.